All right, this week on Camera Talk, where are we going, buddy? Where's Dylan?
I don't know.
Oh, seems he's taking the week off. See, once he gets to close to 3.5 years old, now he starts to get the diva syndrome. Oh, he's too good for Camera Talk, so he wasn't in the mood. He's off watching Madagascar movie. You know, cartoons seem to be more important than Camera Talk. Oh well, Daddy's on his own. So where are we going this week? Japan.
One ticket to Tokyo, please.
That's right. Looking at a new, well, it's not new, but it's new for me. It's a Ricoh GRiii. Is it the GR, GR2, GR3? Of course, GR3. Why would I go for the earlier ones, right? But still, got this used. So Modesty Photography, looking at saving money.
Cheap bastard.
It's also from 2018. So it's pretty much almost like a vintage camera. They haven't come up with a new one since. And anyway, so we're going to take a look at it. Is it still any good here in 2023?
Whatever.
Well, we'll figure it out. So grab yourself something to eat or drink. Get yourself comfortable.
Talk it out, man.
And let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott. And normally with Dylan, but he's absent today, so we're flying solo.
By the way, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
What are we talking about this week? Well, just like the intro says, we're back in Japan. We're talking about a Ricoh product. Now, what other Ricoh stuff do I have? I've talked about the Auto Ricoh 55, or is it 58? 58 millimeter 1.4. And another Bokeh King out there. But today we're talking about a Ricoh product as in a camera. And look at this cute little thing. Oh, isn't that like the sweetest, cutest little thing ever, right? This is a GR3. A lot of you out there probably have heard of it at least, and you may have seen other videos about it, but I'm going to talk about it today because it's my latest acquisition. And you know, why did I get it? I mean, I've already got a Lumix LX100 Mach 2 over there, but it's a micro four thirds sensor versus this Ricoh, which is an APS-C, and yet it's even smaller than that one. This one I can literally put in my pocket. Look at that. Fits in your pocket like nobody even knows it's there. It's very light. Anyway, I got it just for that because it is a pocket camera, and the quality is it's got its reputation, that's for sure. It's also got the reputation as a street photographer's, you know, weapon of choice. But anyhow, let's jump into this anyway. I mean, I'm not going to give you a full review on it because there's 8 gazillion videos out there already about it. But you know, some nifty little things that are excellent compared to some of its competitors out there. So first off, as I said in the intro, it's practically a vintage camera now. It's 2018, you know, when this came out. So it's a 5-year-old camera, and yet they haven't come up with a GR4 yet. So GR3 is still out there kicking. Still producing some pretty cool photos out there for people. So let's go through some of the specs about this thing anyway, just to get that out of the way. So it is obviously a compact camera.
No shit, Sherlock.
APS-C is, you know, what I've mentioned already. It has, it's an f2.8 constant all the way through, but it goes out to f16 if that is your desire. You know, it has manual mode, shutter priority, aperture priority, P mode for people who like to pee.
Robin wouldn't piss on your gums if your teeth were on fire.
And, you know, user mode, user 1, 2, and 3, to which I've programmed already to my own preferences. U1 is the standard, even though I've tweaked it. U2 is snap priority. I'll get into that in a second. And U3 is positive because it has its own film reproduction look to it. So I've done that with user 3. But anyway, so 2.8 to f16. It's I mean, this sucker is not brand new to the market. It's, you know, it's 7th in the Ricoh digital line of cameras. So starting with 2005, you know, with the GR digital out there, it's the GR3 is next. There was a GRX after this one, which is a 40 millimeter equivalent. This one's 28 equivalent. It's a full frame equivalent. But anyway, it comes with a new sensor comparing to the GR2. It's actually a new APS-C sensor, meaning it went from 16 megapixels on the GR2 to 24, which is the same, actually it's the same as my Leica M10. It's also the same as my Canon M50, which is an APS-C sensor as well. And this little sucker actually outperforms my Canon M50. So that is new with this sensor. It also adds a new autofocus. Before it was, it just had one type of autofocus, and now it does contrast and phase detection autofocus, and also face detection as well is added to it. So that's pretty cool. Has two built-in ND filters. It has an anti-alias simulation to deal with the moire effect. You know, the little funky lines that can show up in some of the artifacts. Has ultrasonic cleaning. So, you know, with a lot of compact cameras, every time they open and close, you know, and then close, it can suck dust into, you know, into the camera.
You suck!
And get stuck on your sensor, to which you can't take the lens off and clean it. So, but it has an ultrasonic cleaner that the little
That's how you use it.
vibration on there and knocks the dust off of it. Has a 3-axis in-body stabilization, which is pretty cool. You know, especially if you're hand holding just one hand and getting out away from your body and whatever, you could have a little jitter, especially like me when I drink 27 cups of coffee a day.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
I can see my hand shaking right there. But anyway, it stabilizes your shots, so you get a nice crisp, clear, sharp image, which is pretty cool. Again, for something this small, I mean, you can hear it.
What the fuck is that?
You know, you can hear the stabilization moving around in there. The lens itself is also new. The GR2 had a 7-element in 5-group configuration. This one has 6 elements in 4 groups with 2 aspheric lenses or elements in there. Also has a macro mode, which is the close focus on this thing is 10 centimeters, but in the macro mode it gets to 6 centimeters, which is pretty good in itself. The lens is 18.3 millimeter, which is an equivalent of 28 millimeter full frame world. Screen on the back, 3-inch screen, touch. You know, again, responds to being touched. Well, don't we all?
Stop touching me!
But anyway, you can actually take pictures from the back just by touching if you set it up that way. You can focus with it. I actually have a back button focus with my FN button over here programmed to that. You can again, just saying that, you can program these things to do pretty much anything, any of these buttons on here. The downside of this is there's no tilt
Get the fuck out of here.
on the, no tilt on the screen. So, which would be nice if if you could tilt it this way and take some low pictures down here, or pictures up here and tilt up and be able to see that way. No such luck. But it's not a showstopper. I mean, it's not that big a deal.
Whatever.
Because it's so small, it's very light, 257 grams is which is freaking light. I've got lenses. I mean, my Canon 50 0.95 is heavier, almost double the weight of this thing. So 257 grams, super light. And that's with the battery in it too. I guess you could talk about the downside of that. The battery is very tiny, cute little thing, isn't it?
That's what she said.
It's good for 200 shots. Now, if you're going to be using this thing out and you're going to be shooting all day, then obviously you're going to need extra batteries. If you're just taking this and walking around and taking the odd shot of something, or off to a family event, you might take 30, 40, 50 shots, if that. I could take 200. So the battery may not be that big a deal, but still have two. I have two, so carry a spare. The video, it has video, 1080, 60 frames per second, but it pretty much sucks, so I don't think anybody uses it.
Get the fuck out of here.
If I really needed video or something, I guess I would use it in that regard, but I don't, so therefore don't even worry about the video aspect of that. So the video is very small. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but Dylan's outside making all kinds of racket, talking to his mom. So yeah, he's boycotting camera talk today.
I'm sorry!
Anyway, doesn't come with a charger, so you have to get an extra charger.
What the fuck?
This is it right here. Cute little thing in it. I didn't buy that because I bought this used. Normally it's actually, because it's in demand right now, prices have fluctuated between $900 or $1,000, even more. I got mine for $600 because it was used, and it's got a little chip on the corner to which you can't even see from there. It's very small, but because of that, it's only $500 with the battery, with the charger. Hey, who can complain about that, right? So anyway, Modest View Photography, all about saving you money. So buy your stuff used. Why not? Just because somebody else had it before you doesn't, as long as it works and they didn't break anything, then hey, why not, right? So anyway, it has USB, port, so you can charge your battery right in the camera. But if you have a charger, then use it outside as well. Another beauty with this thing too, if you forget your SD card in there, or if it gets corrupted, or whatever, it has 2 GB internal memory. That's pretty cool. None of my other cameras have that, so that's pretty sweet. Nice little bonus there, Ricoh. Image quality, the JPEGs straight out of camera, if you're using standard colored mode, they kind of suck.
Saying what you feel.
I don't know, suck like an ultra suck, but
That's what she said.
the reds are more magentas, and the yellows are a little greenish, and so on. So you're better to play with other modes in here, like positive. Like I said, the positive film option is pretty cool. Vivid is pretty good because it's not vivid as in like Sony Vivid where everything's ultra saturated and whatnot. Vivid actually is pretty nice in this thing. Black and white, very nice. Got 3 different black and white modes in it. So those are my recommendations for that anyway. One of the beauties of this And I know Fuji does, but most other compact cameras don't offer it. They have what they call a snap mode.
What you talking about, doctor?
And what snap mode is, if you're used to something like a rangefinder, like on my Leica here, zone focusing, where you set your distance, your focal distance, so that you know between whatever you set it at, whether it's 1 meter, meter and a half, 2 meters, 2.5, 5, whatever it is, you preset it, you preset your aperture, and then it's good to go. So whenever your subject comes within that meter and a half or 2 meters or whatever it is, there is no focus. It's faster than autofocus because there is no focusing. It's pre-focused is what snap is. So it's great for street people walking by all the time, things happening. You're just taking pictures left and right because whatever, as long as the subject is within your range, it's going to be in focus. So that's the beauty of snap focus. And as I said, my U2 user 2 menu or setting on here, I just set it to that and it's automatically set for snap focus, and I just take pictures and away we go.
I'm a very stable genius.
So so it's good for street, good for travel, it's good for casual. It's not so good for low light. Kind of struggles with that, and I mean it is a tiny little lens in there. The autofocus struggles in low light to find its subject or whatnot, might be hunting around a bit. But in street, daylight, whatever, or bright lights like these, works no problem. Not very good for action. Again, the autofocus is going to take a little while to, and I don't mean take like 5 minutes or something, but if something's zipping around or people are running about, or you're trying to, get your son running down the first base line or anything, it might be a little blurry. So that's where snap focus is going to come in handy. Change it to U3. U2 for me. Snap focus, and boom, I can catch Dylan coming down. Now, he's like 3 years old, so he's not going to be running down the first baseline anytime soon. But in the future, I might still have this. So anyway, what else can I say? I think I covered just about everything. Let me check my notes. Yeah.
What are you waiting for, huh?
I think I pretty much got everything I wanted to talk about on here. All right. Well, how about some samples? Well, here's Dylan at, obviously, equivalent of 28 millimeter at I forget what f-stop I had him in. Oh, I was at 2.8, okay.
At least we're not fucking idiots.
And this was in the positive, because I had it on U3. So I was in the positive setting there, and I auto-focused, and away we went. Now again, there's all kinds of cool little extra elements in here, but I'm not going to go through them all, because again, you can watch that in other videos. So anyway, so here's Dylan at equivalent of 28 millimeter at f2.8. Okay, and random crap, right? Gotta do our usual random crap. Oh, one thing I didn't mention yet was that there's no EVF, so no electronic viewfinder.
What? No.
and no built-in flash either.
No, 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 no.
And that's why it is so tiny and so light. They left those things out. But it's not, again, those aren't deal breakers, because one, I never use flash anyway. And two, you know, what you see through the viewfinder or the rear panel, rear screen, is pretty much all you need. You're good to go. So anyway, that's that. I'm going to stop talking about that now. That's the end of that. Now with that 2 gigabyte, what I've also mentioned too, the built-in internal memory, those 2 gigabytes can get you, if you're shooting RAW, which I do, RAW and JPEG. So I like to look at the JPEG just to see what it looks like ahead of time. But RAW, you can get 40 RAW photos in there, or you can get 140 JPEGs, all without an SD card. Not bad. So anyway, how about some random stuff? Random crap. Yeah. Rainbows, butterflies, park benches, lakes, trees, stuff like that. Right here. All right, and that was the end of that. How about our little plug for my photo editing software that I use? And who do I use? Luminar. Luminar AI and Luminar Neo. Now AI, I don't think they sell anymore. They might, I haven't really checked, but I think they're always pushing Neo as their latest, greatest one, which is a combination of AI and Luminar 4. It's obviously going through its growing pains and whatnot. They just sent me an upgrade 2 nights ago. You know, and they're free. They, you know, each one fixes bugs and whatever else in it. As with anything, it gets buggy. Ew! But they fix it, and away you go. Anyway, it's full of AI, full of something.
Crap!
But it's full of AI. Dylan talking about eyes, something about eyes. AI, artificial intelligence. It has spot dust removal. It has power line removal. It has background removal. It has masking AI, sky replacement, all kinds of different stuff. Anyway, scene relighting. It's too much to mention. So anyway, if you want a deal on that, because it's already pretty economical, I think it's like 80 or 90 bucks. If you want a $10 discount, click below. There's a link in the description below. Click on that. It'll take you to Luminar's site. You buy it, it'll automatically deduct $10 off. Hey, who doesn't like to save 10 bucks, right? That 10 bucks that you save, they give it to me. Because Dylan's not here, so I can't say I gave it to him. So they give it to me, because I went through the effort to tell you about it. So anyway, that's called kickback. Yay, kickback. Other than that, what else can I say?
Okay, that's it. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
How about you sponsor our channel? No, you're not sponsoring us. How about you support our channel and subscribe? Did you hear me?
Are we clear?
Subscribe. Tell you a third time. Don't make me tell you a third time.
Are we clear?
Subscribe. That's right. What else does YouTube like besides subscribers? Because it helps get us exposed out there in the world. Well, they like the thumbs up. And if you give me a thumbs up, we'll give you a little taste of Dylan's girls, the thumbs up girls. Thumbs up, do 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 do. Thumbs up. Other than that, who are we? Well, even though Dylan's not here, pretend Dylan's here. I'm Dr. Scott. He's Dylan.
I'm Mike Wallace.
I'm Morley Safer.
I'm Ed Bradley.
And together, we are all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, vintage lenses, new lenses, camera systems, new cameras, new to me anyway, maybe new for you. Just stuff about photography. We're here each week, every Friday, Vietnam time. So you have to set your clock appropriately because we might be the day before you, we might be the day after you, we might be the same day depending on what time zone you're in. Pretty funky time math. Other than that, why should you come back each week? Because you belong here. That's right. And where do you belong? Well, this was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. The invisible little boy. So, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thank you for buying a copy of Luminar through our link below. Thank you for listening all the way through. Thank you for leaving a comment below. Maybe a recommendation or something else you'd like to see.
There he is.
Thank you for just being you. All right, well, that's the end of our show, my show. And I guess we'll see you next week in another version of Camera Talk. All right, so see ya. Take care. Bye-bye.
Here I am, Vietnam.